So I put one on, sent it to Kurt, and said, make me a turtle. And he didn't.
I can't do the voice. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael Burhan.
Creepy voice.
For another episode. And tell your children. Oh, precious. Yes, this is Michael Burhan for another episode of I Got Gameplays. Episode 120. The episode where we're going to be doing another little bit of venting, of course. It's called N1ntendon't. Reason being, there's a lot of stuff Nintendo have done for this episode that we're going to be talking about, of course. We are also competing with the WWE Hall of Fame. So, yay for that. But, you know. Close. It's not stacked as WrestleMania, but it's stacked nonetheless. So, we have the man who is the Macho Man Randy Savage to my Hulk Hogan, the Excess Gaming Podcast himself, and the gentleman who's got the most epic beard on the planet, with the exception of Chris, of course.
Sultry, sexy southern tones.
Yes, he is also the sexy Mr. Xander Scullion.
Hi, how's it going, everybody?
That sounded...
Damn, nice.
Sound like the gay guy from South Park, Big Gay Al. That's it. Big Gay's Al.
Hello. Oh, God.
Yeah, so it's not really Amanda, is it? It's Anthony. He's Xander and Anthony.
Oh. Amanda.
I mean, I've got to say, by the way, we're disappointed when Facebook police finally got you, Xander, as they got us all in the end. I was a little bit disappointed that your name's not actually Xander, it's Alexander. But you'll always be Xander to me.
Yeah. Well, you know, funny story about that is I got hit by Facebook again. I got hit by Facebook again because I tried to go by Xander. And they hit me again, so now I have to go by my full name, Alexander, which is complete bullshit. That's like, or your name's Richard, not Dick. You know?
Sorry, Shatner.
Or your name's what was it? Jonathan. It can't be Johnny.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's annoying. I think they do accept John though, which is weird. They haven't.
Well, I just still find it funny, going back on it really, really quickly. I know we talked about it before, which is, you know, they wouldn't let me have Lawn Boy's post, even though I have to log in with my full name. It's not like I'm...
So we've got a few people who are getting scared for their lives at the moment. I've got a funny feeling people are reporting these profiles, which again we'll get more into in a little bit. Now, also speaking of reporting profiles, he is the other half of Burhan and the Boy, of course. And also another member of our panel on Slamcast. He is the awesome Mr. Lawnboys Post 1975, Dave Wade.
Bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va, David, j'habite Angleterre.
He sounds like the pub landlord, Al Murray. I don't like the French. You will play.
Where would we be if we had no rules, France? Where would we be if we had too many rules, Germany? That's why England's best.
I'm getting these feelings. I'm kind of homosexual.
Suit you, sir. Suit you.
Oh, I love Al Murray. Now, speaking of Al Murray, we have the awesome Mr. B+ player himself. He is the Triple H to my Daniel Bryan, the former member of DX who thinks he can do better on his own. Yes, he is Mr. Nick Horacek.
I've got my shovel sitting around here somewhere.
Yeah.
That I got from Kevin Nash.
Oh, yeah, thank God for Kevin Nash and tearing his quad. Speaking of tearing his quad, we have.
I was going to say, Burhan.
Yep.
I was say, Burhan, doesn't Nick sound a lot like Anthony?
He does. He does sound a lot like Tony, Mr. Magus himself. Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it?
It's a compliment. Yeah, it's a
Don't
compliment.
tell Xander, Nick, but you're my favourite American.
Don't tell Tony, because if you try and tell that compliment backwards and say Tony sounds like Nick, Tony will probably get really offended.
I heard if you say Nick's name 10 times in a mirror, Candyman shows up and kills you.
I hear if you say Nick's name 10 times in the mirror, Brie Bella shows up and tells you, well, it doesn't really tell you anything. Because Brie never mentioned it. What was it? No, it was Nikki never said anything.
That was Nikki! You fucked up the joke for
I
her hand.
did!
Get the bricks!
By the way, speaking of getting the bricks, we have the Brickmeister himself. He is the awesome Mr. Sean J. Michelin.
Yeah, I took a pretty big brick there earlier, actually.
Yeah, I could tell.
Sorry, America.
Yeah.
He's our Commonwealth brother.
Yes, he's in one of those states where everything's legal.
See,
speaking of which, and things of the Commonwealth, I gotta bring up one thing. How do you gentlemen feel about Jeremy Clarkson being terminated by the BBC?
Oh, no. That was going to be burning the boy last week.
That's like Dave. That's like talking about divorce to a divorcee, you know.
Myself as well.
Yeah, Dave was in a bit of a tirade. Someone was like, Jeremy Clarkson fucking deserved it. I was like, unfriend me, you cunt. You know, it was just...
I'm sorry, I stand by it. Jeremy Clarkson is my god.
We can talk a little bit about this.
He's my favorite Englishman.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where Clarkson. I'm two ways about it, because Clarkson shouldn't have hit people. I don't care how fucking. I don't care if you're bloody diabetic, right? You don't go hitting people if you don't get a steak. But I think there is more to it. I don't believe it was one-sided. I don't believe.
The irony is, when he was on a plane and he punched Piers Morgan, the entire cabin clapped. Yeah, he punched his producer, and now he's fired.
As I said, I don't think it's totally one-sided. I think there was more to it. I don't think he was fired. I really believe that them opting not to renew. Yeah, I think they paid him enough to make him go. So I'm not against this.
Like I said, I'm hoping that the Dave TV channel gets him.
He'll get another job. He'll land on his feet, and he'll probably get a lot more money.
I just keep saying, there's always Channel 4.
Pretty much. Now, speaking of Channel 4...
Do you have any idea how cool it is to have a TV channel named after yourself?
Of course.
Just say it.
Speaking of Channel 4, we have the lovely lady herself, who basically puts the Doctor in Doctor Who. There we go. She is the lovely Sarah Mortimer.
Hello. It's been a while, and I'm also the only girl here today. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty much a sausage fest.
I like you guys anyway.
There's tons
You
of
get to be the mom!
That's disturbing.
Hey, okay.
That's really disturbing, Nick. Thank you.
She gets to be the responsible one.
You've just made the show creepy. That's just like, I was talking about Dick Fest, and Nick was like, you get to be the mom! And I was like, okay, this has gone a little bit country.
You guys are all older than me. How does that work?
This sounds like something disturbing, like Donnie and Marie's relationship in The Osmonds. Or The Cause. Remember when Sharon Corr used to sing to her brother while he's playing guitar, very lovingly.
Do you know what that's a Clarkson quote? Do you know what Jeremy Clarkson said? He said the funniest thing he ever heard, and he answered it honestly, was someone said, right, so here's the deal. You can have sex with all the Corrs, but it has to be all of them. And you go, right, just give me the bloke, I'll get him out of the way first, and then it's the lovely ladies.
No, I probably would do the same thing. I'll be like doing him and then getting him out of the room. I'll be like making sure it's quick. I'm like, oh, I'm done, goodbye.
Andrea Corr makes my winky hard, just saying.
Yeah, they all look really sexy.
Just say that out loud.
Great. But yeah,
there's some good genes in that family. There's some good genes in that family.
Yeah, I really want to see the parents. The parents must be hot as hell. Anyway, going off of the Corrs talk there,
they look like a giant
and the creepiness. This is basically a game show. I hope you don't actually
creepy. Oh, there you go. We got a new phrase for this show: creepy Corrs moment.
No, we won't do that, Dave. We won't do creepy Corrs moment of the week. That's just wrong. So speaking of that, let's go on to the show itself, and let's talk some gaming news. So let's do that as I bring up the Pac-Man file. I have no idea why it's not brought up yet. It should have been brought up, but I'm just going to stand here and talk to you for like 5-10 minutes before it's done, because I'm a nutcase. Here we go. So, Mr. Xander Scullion, what's in the news this week?
Oh, geez. Well, we just had some news that came out yesterday, and it's kind of, I don't know, this is kind of going to segue into the whole Nintendon't, but yeah, Zelda U got delayed. It's going to be coming out 2016.
Yep, it got delayed, Dave.
I'm not terribly surprised by it, and I'm kind of happy that they did it, but at the same time, it's like, I wanted to play it for Christmas.
I wanted to play with other things for Christmas, but still, I'm not too upset about this. In terms of the whole Zelda thing, I think when Nintendo says they're going to put a game on the shelf for a little bit to kind of give it a bit more time, I think it needs more time. If it was Ubisoft that said this, I'd be like,
yeah, good point.
Yeah, you're fucking milking this. Or if it was, I don't know, say, like with the Batman Arkham series that they're doing at the moment, they're like, we have to postpone Arkham Knight, but we'll release a HD collection in the meantime. It's like, yeah, fuck you. You know,
it's worth the wait, basically.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think if Nintendo are going to delay something, they're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, of course. if Iwata,
they did it with Smash, and it was fine.
Yeah, if Satoru Iwata basically says we need to delay it, there's a reason behind it, you know. And same thing if it was Miyamoto that said it, you know, if it was Inafune that said it, we understand that most of these guys hold weight and credibility towards their own characteristics as people. When it's somebody that you know of a company that's basically just done shit that you know you don't like, there's reasons behind it. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, Sean, what do you think of this? What do you think is this a bad thing, or do you think, you know, are you prepared to wait?
What's that for the Zelda? We'll see.
Yeah,
you got devs that heard games at the door and it fucking showed. I mean, one of the biggest Fallout 3 fans, but that game is buggy as hell. Even recently, that was it the Assassin's Creed game where the eyeballs and teeth were just floating there?
Unity, that's
apparently so like there's that.
They had to basically put a DLC on the fucking game of what it was like over 100 gig just to freaking like sort the bloody game out. Yeah.
Did anyone ever play Medal of Honor Warfighter?
No.
Most broken game upon release ever.
Rule 54. If it exists, there's a porno of it out there. So that's probably Medal of Honor Cockfighter.
There's a bit when you have to. I actually walked through 2 walls in that game and thought, wow, I'm Casper. And there's a sniper level that was so broken, like unbelievably broken, that, and it wasn't to do with Cold Zero, wind effect, or anything like that. That I only completed it when I worked out that in order to headshot people, I had to aim 2 inches above the head and 4 to the left.
Just like real life.
And clearly missed them.
You must be amazing in bed, Dave. 2 inches to the left and all the way over to the right. So, what about you, Sarah? Are you like? Because I know you're a Wii U fan. You have a Wii U console. It's probably one of the only next-gen consoles that you own, really, out of the 8th generation.
Yeah, we can't afford Xbox One or PS4. Like I said, I don't really mind the delay, but the way I see it, it wasn't going to be out until at least December anyway, so my thought it's only going to be delayed by like 3 to 6 months, maybe? Like maybe 9 months at the tops, or 9 months tops. Sorry, I can't talk today.
No, you can't. You can't talk.
I was really looking forward to it. Because Zelda's my favorite
9
series.
months Hugh Grant movie.
No, 9 months is not a Hugh Grant movie. It's oh no, it is actually. It is a Hugh Grant movie.
Him and Julianne Moore.
Everyone keeps going to me, you sound like Hugh Grant. I'm like, no, I don't, because he sounds like a tosser. Anyway.
You sound like you. Anyway, yeah, I was kind of expecting this to happen, but the day that I actually get it will be a very happy day for me.
The day you actually get Hugh Grant?
No, the day that I get the new Zelda game.
Aiming high there.
The day you get Hugh Grant will be the same day that you simultaneously get herpes. Anyway, let's go on to you, Mr. Nick Horacek. You've got an opinion on this. State your opinion, please.
This is a good thing with Nintendo.
You just made it sound like Double Jeopardy, Burhan. State your opinion, please.
Dave, no talking. Let Nick talk.
Oh man, but basically it's a good thing because I have not played Hyrule Warriors or Majora's Mask 3D or Link Between Worlds yet, so it'll give me a chance to sit back and actually play those.
Lovely jubbly. Okay, Xander, you got any more news for us?
Well, I was going to say my thoughts about it.
Do you have thoughts? You're not paid to have thoughts. Yeah, continue.
And it's actually very. I'm going to be totally the devil's advocate on this. I know a lot of people have been saying this is a good thing, and I agree. You know, I'd rather have a good game that's nice and polished instead of something that's rushed out. But I will go ahead and say, nice and polished. But I will go ahead and say,
that's this slowly for the ladies.
Well, I just gotta say this real quick, because I'm gonna be making some jaws drop with this statement. This fucking kills the Wii U.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm saying this, okay? Because a lot of people are saying that, you know, this game's being delayed, and that's a good thing, and it was supposed to come out during the end of 2015, the holiday season. It's not coming out for the holiday season now. What the hell does the Wii U have right now that we know of that's going to be consolidating for the holiday season? We don't have anything. Devil's Third,
all over again.
I mean, okay, Devil's Third is not going to sell units. Yoshi's Woolly World is not going to sell units. The new Star Fox might be able to sell units, but right now it's looking like a glorified mini game. Project Robots and Project Guard. Like Project Guard and Project Robot, it looks like a mini game. There's nothing. Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles X. I know a lot of RPG enthusiasts are saying that this is going to be the game, and I agree. For RPG people, not everyone plays RPGs. So, what's going to be the game that comes out that's going to make people be like, you know what? I've been waiting, and I want to get a Wii U. What's going to make them do that? I mean, other than, you know, maybe past entries like Mario Kart or Smash Brothers. And this is my other thing, too, and a lot of people have been saying this as well. This is almost like history repeating itself. If you guys watch a video I made on the 11th of April, I made a video saying it's Nintendo killing the Wii U. And a lot of the things that I was griping about last year are happening now in 2015.
I did the same video. Just saying.
Yeah, it's happening.
Well.
It's happening right now. And I mean, I think a lot of people are not seeing it. A lot of people are just looking at the sense that like, oh, well, this is okay. This is good. And I see that fucking Miyamoto, quote that comes up that's like, a game that's rushed is bad, you know, and blah, 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 forever bad. I've seen that quote so many times. It's irrelevant to the financial situation. It's irrelevant right now. Because we also got, in the news, I don't know if we talked about last episode. I wasn't here last episode, but, you know, Nintendo with the mobile, you know, I think that's a good thing. I think them going mobile is kind of cool because it's going to give more advertisement for people. Everyone's on their smartphones. Yeah. Kids are more on their smartphones than anything else. So now they're going to know about all the new games coming out. Yeah, so that's good. And, you know, when they said that, of course, Iwata was like, holy shit, I need to do damage control, because once I mention Nintendo's going mobile, everyone's going to be like, holy shit, Nintendo's dead. They're not going to be in the console market anymore. So he shoehorned in, hey, we're developing a new console that we're going to talk about in 2016, and it's the prototype name is called Nintendo NX. Now, here's the kicker. This is where things get kind of like a conspiracy. Okay? Yeah. Is it funny that we got Zelda Majora's Mask, a game that Zelda fans have been wanting for so long? We got this game. Everyone enjoyed it. But the problem is this game came out, and then we find out a couple months later, oh, Zelda Wii U's being pushed back. And not only is it being pushed back, it's being pushed back in 2016, which what else is happening in 2016 but the announcement of this new Nintendo prototype? So, is Nintendo pulling a Twilight Princess? Yeah, is Nintendo pulling a Twilight Princess?
Why would that?
Using it as a bridging game.
One at a time, guys. One at a time. Okay, we'll start with you, Sarah, and then Sean's next.
Well, that's bad so that they could release it on the new system as well. Because that doesn't make sense. Like they're talking about it next year, but it wouldn't be out for like another year or so at least. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, for me, it don't make sense either.
Yeah. Hey, Xander, what did you say in your Wii U video? Because I don't really remember it. It's been almost a year.
We weren't having enough Wii U releases, which we still have a really big Nintendo drought. You know, we got that. Splatoon is coming out at the end of May. And you know, yeah, I mean, it might be saying we're jumping the gun saying it's going to be released also on the NX, but by the time the NX is being talked about, the Wii U is going to be about 4 years old. I think a lot of people don't realize that the Wii U is so old, and Nintendo only has a console for 5 years.
That's so weird to think about.
I'm not saying it's not going to be for the Wii U, but I really think they pushed it back because they want. They really
5 years. What?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to come out for the Wii U. I think it's going to come out for the Wii U, but I think they pushed it back for the Wii U console with the new Zelda. I think what they're really wanting to do, because they know Zelda's more popular than Mario right now, is I think they really want a Zelda launch title for the new console. And this could be it.
Makes sense.
Sean, you're next. What's your opinion?
Well, a couple things are, they confirmed in a game a bit early, they did, like, they weren't very specific, but they said that they did have another system in development already, which is apparently commonplace in the industry. Like, apparently Microsoft and Sony as well are, you know, usually within this time now under preliminary assessment for, like, their new system that they're going to put out next. It could be like the same thing with Twilight Princess. I can see that, especially if it's a system that has forward compatibility, but it can act almost like, say, an HD remaster or something like that, so it makes the graphics pop out even more on the new system. And, you know, they're making this new system apparently compete with more of course their counterparts as well for the next generation that's coming up. I like, if they are going to do that they're going to, you know, honor the previous customers using Wii U. Could be simply just a quality thing or something like that, or, you know, it's sad when you don't have privy enough to things to be able to know why development's pushed back on something. I'm still waiting for Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC, so.
What made it really weird too is the fact that we're not getting anything out of E3. It's going to be called. They confirmed that Nintendo will not be showing any footage of the new Zelda game, and that right there really worries me. That really worries me.
That's disappointing and weird.
Or they could be trolling us.
Oh yeah, they could be trying to distract us.
Yeah, Nintendo's had a habit of doing stuff like this, so I'm not too worried about it. But I can see everybody's points as well at the same time. Dave, what about you?
I think he got dropped.
Well, hopefully we
elephant in the room
about this.
I think you know what I'm about to say right now. Fuck you, British Telecom. That is all. Sorry. And he's gone again. Oh yeah. No, he's not gone again. Don't go quiet, people. You scare me. I didn't think about it until reasons touched upon what you said, Bohan, which is, you know, cough Ubisoft, you make piles of shit that aren't fit to be released in the first place. Then cool, but this will be in the system's life because Nintendo systems have 5 years. I agree with Xander. I'm worried. I expected a little bit more from my Wii U than this. You know, where was I bought it? When people say like, oh, you know, there's no party games because it's Nintendo, but at the same time, more so than any other system. All right, there was a lot of shovelware on the recent years. We've been deprived a big, fat, decent game console. Why are we getting it so near the end? But then I guess we got Skyward Sword at the end of the Wii's life, didn't we? And then it comes back to what Xander said, because Twilight Princess still shrink wrapped on the GameCube and it's worth a fortune, and I'm going to retire off it.
Nice.
So going on from that,
disappointment, really. Disappointment.
Because I said you said you want to bounce off that to another bit of news.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the good old Amiibos. These wonderful little toys that people love to collect from Nintendo. Well, there's been a rumor going around, and
the wonderful little toy.
It's already been confirmed by Target. That's one major retailer, but supposedly there's a rumor going around that Wave 4 will not be up for pre-order because the department stores have had such a they haven't really had any information from Nintendo of when they're going to come out, and they've had so much of a hassle of people pre-them. So, I'm going to get the Golden Mario. That's a gift from one of my friends. I'm getting one of those, and it's a scalper's market. I could care less about amiibos now.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the same level because I've financially I haven't been able to afford anything. It just goes on salads. But the I go to the pound market down
on Facebook where you said, "Is this trying to tell me something?" And it was the mustache dye cream thing, and I just remember thinking, "Are you in a pound shopper?"
And you need this and you need that, and I went in there, and as soon as I walked in the first aisle that was sitting there, I was like, "Gods are telling me to grow my beard, and my mustache."
Mr. Sprinkles!
The balance of people who look like General Zod. It's an important goal, but
yes, but also the fact that at the moment I look like Max Payne, hence the whole image. That should be my new gimmick. But yeah, so going on. Plus, I don't have the little ones round anymore, so I usually get them for them. People just never take them out.
yeah.
The kids enjoy them. They're my brother did the same. He gave me an anime toy to hold on to kill her. It was just, she was only a little baby at the time. What are you going to do?
Shall I let you into a really, really sad fact that's going to make you all think even less of me? Is on my shelf with my David Tennant figure in, and the other one is still boxed on top of my wardrobe because...
But yeah, no, I agree with Xander on the whole amiibo craze. It's gotten to the point it's gotten out of hand now, and it's when I get financially stable...
I don't know if you noticed this.
Yeah, go on.
Only buy them from game stores. You cannot buy them from supermarkets. Whereas you can buy all the other stuff. You can buy infinite
supermarkets
amiibos.
are refusing to stock Nintendo stuff now. You rarely see a Nintendo game in
the Nintendo section in my supermarket. It has 2 games.
On the initial release of amiibos, Tesco over here especially have problems shipping stuff. Every time they run out of a product.
Well, yeah, supermarkets demand, don't they?
Yeah, it could be weeks or months before they about is their supply and demand ratio. Nintendo make these in limited supply on purpose because they don't think they're going to sell, and then eventually when they sell 6 months down the line, which is hurting their bottom line. These amiibo figures could make billions, they don't supply, so now you've got resellers buying these figures out, and it's killing the entire spectrum itself, and I was hoping to kind of get them back. Yeah, Gonzaga?
Well, I was going to say I don't know how it is over there in the UK, but for Canada and the ports, the strike being over there on the West ports, it's really crumbling from Japan, and that's the reason why there's been such a shortage of the Majora's Mask, new 3DS, and some of the amiibos. With that problem, also the fact that Nintendo hasn't given major retailers put it on the shelf on this day. They haven't been able to do that. At the last wave, GameStop got so pissed off about anything from Nintendo. When we get it, we're going to put it out on this day, and they emailed Nintendo and told them that. And supposedly, Walmart had the golden amiibos that were exclusive to Walmart, and they even said that when you go to Walmart, you can only buy them stacked up, asking for money or for trades of other amiibos, and this just it's annoying. It's really annoying.
To actually partake in. Even the Mega Man one. I got the Mega Man one for Rob, but I never actually got one for myself because at the time I was what happened to this one? And I had 2 that kind of got lost in transit. When am I going to get my figures? And I still haven't got my Little Mac and Rosalina figures. Which
years ago.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Not you, them. That's like your share. That's terrible.
Yeah, and a lot of it's Nintendo quid. I want my money back now. Fuck this shit. But it's gotten to the point where I can't. It's also one where it gets even more expensive when you've got resellers trying to wager.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got the point now where people are just...
Well, it comes back to what you said, Burhan, which is if Nintendo took money off it, it would shut the resellers out who are automatically overinflating the price in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And it boggles the mind that they've really dropped the horse on it.
It takes away the potential of these figures. It's like buying a first print issue of a comic book. That way, the value will go down anyway. So even if you want to collect a first print or the looking things. I don't care as long as
I
I
wouldn't.
figure in my collection.
No stigma of owning a second edition. Oh, people would laugh at me.
Well, I just buy a thing, and I think if Nintendo actually got their figure out their backsides and sorted this out, we wouldn't have. Got any more news for us?
I mean, that's probably it, other than the fact they delayed Arkham Knight again, and they're releasing Arkham HD remasters.
Well, you and me both have a huge issue on HD remasters, and we've done a video on it that's going to be released soon. What you think the problem is? Because Warner basically they pushed the game back, but they sold this game, the HD remaster, not as a replacement, but using this as a kind of a while we're trying to sort out Arkham Knight.
I'll say this: there's a lot that goes on with gaming developers. Game really try to figure out things, but we don't really know, because do I work for Rocksteady?
Just
a guy
in the UK, I could literally go down there. Just need a press pass.
but and talk about video games, and that's a podcast. That's it. Night again. This isn't the first time. They delayed it, and again, I polished. I can wait another month. That's fine with me, and I agree with that.
Did you turn into Mr.
There for a second.
Okay, let's go back.
But
Let's go back to that.
no, I agree with that. You know, have a game polished. That's awesome. But the problem is that you're going to push back a game and then turn around at previous titles. That's excluding Batman Origins. They pretty much want to act like Origins.
Batman Arkham Origins pretends that game doesn't exist because it was just a...
I've talked about it in group pages. A lot of people were like, well, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't, you know. I honestly, I don't know if they would. And it would make sense, even more so as Arkham game. Not only that, but they're kind of being for you, but this is getting kind of old. And, you know, it's one of those things that I don't think that much new stuff to offer other than you can ride a Batmobile. That's pretty much it. So
Batmobile, I'd get so much pussy, I'm just saying. Those cats would be good.
But what I was saying was,
every show ever was when they stole.
I mean, I'm trying to get my train of thought here. Hold on, I was
as in cats and the bat.
But no people, you know, gladly spend over $500 for a new console. The HD remakes, they're going to make some money off of it and be a nice little sponge for them to bounce off of. So they're not really going to get a loss from older consoles to play on their new consoles they just spent money on.
Basically, and they say, "Oh no, that's be amazing!" And it's like, dumbass, you bought that 4 years ago.
I think with all the HD remakes, people just go, "Well, I haven't played the game before." You literally Arkham series are people who lived under a rock. You'd have to make a gen console like the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360. There is no way in hell that you have
Batman fan and you have not played an Arkham game. What the fuck?
everything, but we have Arkham. Basically,
The whole movie,
paid,
the Panorama.
and I paid like £12 for mine, £12 for mine. So you look at that and think, okay, I paid that much for it. You're telling me you want to pay $60 for Arkham, Asylum and Arkham City? No reason on God's green earth why you would basically pay that much for a game that has had a
You could pick up all those games second hand, I guarantee.
Probably come less than that. It's like I could get the Arkham Asylum C. I don't give a fuck about frame rates. This is the frame wars are going to be frame rate.
Yeah.
Now they're arguing over frames per second, right? 30 frames per second. If you fuck about it. So when everyone's going, well, I want to see it at night. It's like I really don't get the same as the DLCs.
People like having sand in their vagina and having something that just want to go, I got SNES, you've got Mega Drive. People just like to fucking piss and moan. They're burned with it not being able to see the frame rate. You know, they argue it's completely ineffectual and wasted on them. And they just sound like a...
You know, for all you guys that play consoles, graphics is your doy paw, you know, you should be playing a PC. And the reason why I say you should have a PC, buy these games for $20 or even less. Sometimes, you know,
you can probably get the whole entire collection for that.
Yeah.
$40 to $60 on. Let me give you guys a little hint. Those are the PC versions, and those are what kind of textures you want. You can add mods to it. It would be cheap. Get a PC. That's like me saying I want better gas mileage and buying a fucking
going green and you're going to buy a fucking huge
Yeah. Takes up.
I mean, PC's great.
Understand, and I know we've had debates about this. There's been tons of till the cows come home, and the problem is, I don't think your PlayStation 4 and your Xbox One. But why are you buying a game you already Robinson? Danger! He's a pedophile.
I got the I pre-ordered and I have the Borderlands collection because I haven't even played the pre-sequel. I don't even own that.
Yeah, they've released stuff that's only available on. But when you cut and paste the same fucking game and say fucking free Weetabix, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, as far as this whole Batman, I've only finished. It's not too much longer for this. What's on the Arkham collection? Is it Asylum City and Asylum and
basically ignoring Origins? It's Asylum and City, both complete editions. So you've got the games plus DLC. You may get exclusive maps. They haven't talked about it too much, but I think a few months before the Arkham Knight edition, the Arkham Knight game. So literally, you're trying to house. If
I could go back to something that Xander just said, previous, which is this whole thing reeks of the fact that the new game is being delayed, not because it's not finished or they're improving it, but simply because this collection out, we're just going to make a shitload of money in a really shallow, callous way.
Basically, that's
over our audience.
It's them to Metal Gear Ground Zeroes. Before.
Yeah, I bought that. Call me a twat, I know.
Did you buy it full price?
Yeah.
Sit there in that room looking at that case and think, I paid full price for a demo. But the the main.
I did. It made a lovely ashtray, though.
I can imagine. The factor is they're trying to be available on PS4 and Xbox One, so why not buy the previous games on that same console?
They're starving you out deliberately and then force feeding you, trinkets purely for their wallet.
Yeah, and
shame on you.
And you know what? You know what else they're doing? They're totally catering to the people that are like kind of like me. Even though I'm not going to rebuy Arkham Asylum and City because I have it on the 360, but I'm the kind of person that like if I buy a game, like say Lord of Shadows, okay, I bought Lord of Shadows on the 360. When Lord of Shadows 2 came out, I had a PS3 and a 360, and I bought it for the 360 because I wanted my two games to be on the same platform in my collection. What they're doing is, like, people are like, well, this is great. Now I can own Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and the new Arkham Knight on the PS4 and have them nice together on a bookshelf.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded.
Oh my God, you're right. Just basically, that's what it is. It's for the completionists. It's for the fucking shelf people.
In my opinion, if they released it with the Arkham Knight game and did what they did, what Nintendo did with Bayonetta, where they would release it at a discounted rate to say, well, if you buy it with the extra games on top, you'll get it for, say, you're buying it for 40, we'll give it to you for 60 if you get the extra games on top as well. I would totes be up for that. That would be like, okay.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like just give
They have.
Okay.
They have. No, go ahead, Burhan.
But that would be for me. That would actually be a lot better than saying, well, we're going to sell this at $60, and then you've got to buy the other game for $60. That's ridiculous.
They have all these Arkham Knight special editions. They have two of them. They have one for UK. They have one for US. Why don't they come out with something like the Arkham Collection, where you can get a nice steel book of Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and the new Arkham Knight for like $200? People would pay that. People would pay that.
A year later.
I think it'd be. I'd say do it for less because $200 is a bit too much.
Well, they could add stuff to it. They could add a fucking
I mean, if you look at the Borderlands.
Yeah, if they had a bust and a book and stuff with it, then yeah, I'd be up for that. But,
they could put like Harley Quinn on a freaking candy cane and it will sell.
Yeah, because most
the Borderlands collection had a claptrap robot, and that was like $400.
Jesus Christ!
I heard the guy in GameStop
double
say
the
that
price of my car insurance for a year.
Like, Jesus! Like, I'm a fan of Borderlands, but I'm not that hardcore to drop $400 on a freaking robot.
If that robot was a console, a PS4 console, like as Claptrap, then I'd be fine with that. But
I'd be down with that.
But $400 for a game, my God!
I would like to find one of these people who bought that and just go, let me put this into perspective that you've not thought about person who just bought that game for $400. You just spent almost $500,000 on a fucking game.
Hey, so don't even get me started on the fucking $100,000 Dying Light edition that you get.
$250,000. It came with a house.
A house in Poland to protect you from the zombie apocalypse, apparently.
Well, here's the thing. I got the South Park Stick of Truth Collector's Edition a few weeks ago. I paid about 10% of what that Borderlands collection actually is.
Wow.
So you're like $60.
Well,
anyway, tell me about this house. Sorry.
So, yeah, no, the house looks like shit. I was sitting there and I was like, for the amount of money I could pay for that game and get that house, I could literally buy a nice house, a nice flat in the United Kingdom for that much.
You can buy houses in Liverpool right now for £5. True story.
There you go. So moving on from that, let's go.
I just want to really quickly say on the HD thing though. I had bought the Metal Gear
Solid.
Metal Gear Solid HD collection. Mainly because I just want to play Metal Gear Solid 2 again, because as an adult now, I like it. Back in the day, I hated it because I just wanted to be Snake and not Raiden because he was a pussy. But nice I and but do you know what the funny thing was? One day when I was short for money, I just traded it in and then went to Cash Converters and bought Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PlayStation 2 for £2, played it, and actually thought, do you know what? May not be HD, but I'm really struggling to see how much more shiny that other one was right now. Because it's exactly the same fucking game. There you go, people. Long story short, just buy PlayStation 2. You got games for £2.
Yeah, no, I've got the game on the PlayStation 2 anyway. I got it from a charity shop for like 50p. Now, the other little bit of news we got is Bloodborne co-op gets broken after using suspended mode on PS4. Apparently they put a fix for it. Yeah, Bloodborne co-op mode. It's kind of broken. So there you go. But apparently you can fix it. So they've got a how-to guide on that. And yeah, Xander, there is an article talking about the fact that Nintendo NX has just killed the Wii U in 2015. Because a lot of people are going to be like, well, if they're releasing a new console, fuck the Wii U.
Yeah,
because reasons. So basically, this week as well, Battlefield Hardline's been released. So there you go on that.
Does anyone know how good the 360 version is? Because I quite like Battlefield games.
Well, the Hardline's supposed to be like a police cop simulation.
Yeah, no.
So.
I'll tell you what I do want, because they really missed it.
I wonder if they like...
Where's my fucking Bad Company 3 game? I really want a Bad Company 3 game.
Well, you missed the joke there, Dave. I was like, I wonder if they arrest people like unlawfully while they're sleeping in their bin bags instead of actually getting the real perps, because that's what they're at. More Hideo Kojima situation has been arising. Apparently, there was a lot of people saying that Kojima and that Konami situation is real, and basically this could mean the end of the Silent Hill series in its
I thought it was canned.
form.
I thought it's officially been canned.
Well, a lot of people are saying it's been canned, but no one can confirm it. There's like alleged sources, but no one has confirmed that as of yet. And also apparently the Metal Gear series will be handed over to a new development team after Kojima finishes up his final Metal Gear game. So what does everyone think of that? It won't
be the same without him. It will not be the same without him.
So Xander, do you think he's trolling us, or do you believe that this is real? This is done. He's done with Konami.
I think he is done. Since he's made this news, actually, his Twitter is no longer being active. His last tweet was on March 16th, and it was a picture of Solid Snake looking at a helicopter saying heading off. Since then, he hasn't been active on Twitter. And the thing is Hideo Kojima. I believe he was going through the same problems that Anaga was going through with Kojima with Castlevania. Anaga was wanting to do more stuff with Castlevania, but instead they made him work on dating sims for mobile games for 2 years while they did Lord of the Shadows. That really pissed him off, so he ended up leaving the company. Or
but
also
they basically throttling Kojima then? Basically throttling him to make their vision or version of what they would thought would be a marketable game.
Well, what I was gonna say was it's also like Keiji Mifune as well. Keiji Mifune didn't have his creative juices flowing with Capcom when he left. And the thing is Hideo said that this was going to be his last Metal Gear. He said that about Metal Gear Solid 4. I don't really think he really wanted to do Phantom Pain. I think maybe he wanted to do some other things like Silent Hills. And the thing about Konami is what does Konami have? They have Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania, and Silent Hill. That's really all they have now. And the problem is they've axed Castlevania. Castlevania is fucking dead. Lord of Shadows 2 came out, Mercury Steam went down, the game's broken, the game's not that great. And this is coming from a long-time Castlevania fan. It's just not there anymore. And now with Anaga, with him being gone too, I mean, it's just a nail in the coffin. But I think what it was is Kojima, I think what he's going to do is he's going to leave and he's going to form his own studio. And the thing I'm worried about the most, the one thing I'm thinking about is what's going to happen with the Fox engine. That's his engine. Like, is he going to take that with him? With his?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, he retains the rights to it, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, Konami doesn't own the Fox engine. I think that's part of the problem because they asked him if basically he could, if they could use it on new games, and he was just like, no, fuck you guys. So then,
see, that's the problem too, and Konami said that they were going to be doing a Metal Gear reboot after Phantom Pain. They're pretty much wanting to do Metal Gear Solid like Ubisoft does with Assassin's Creed. They're wanting to come out with a new Metal Gear Solid every single year, and it's gonna bomb. I don't see Konami being.
If they turn it into COD, then that's everything that game franchise isn't, which is, I don't mind waiting for a Metal Gear Solid game because, it's crafted and loved and got a story and there's genuine heart and soul put into it. They turn it into a fucking Madden franchise, then everything that's great about it will just be immediately lost.
I agree. It's basically a very bad situation until, and these questions aren't going to be answered until the new Metal Gear has been released. We won't know, and that's kind of the problem here. No one knows what the hell is happening in this situation. And because all parties have been quiet, Konami's been cryptic, Kojima's been quiet about it. No one knows what the hell's going to happen, and it's.
I don't blame him though. If this is the stance he's taken, then I say, even though kind of as gamers it might annoy us, I say fair play for having some fucking credibility, and and walking away.
Well, the thing is, gaming has become like a lot of these companies, like Konami, for instance, have become very popcornish. They will focus more on targets and how much something's worth than looking at the fact of let's do good storytelling. And the thing about Kojima, he's very.
Well, it comes back to what Xander said, though, doesn't it? Which is, let's be honest, ideally what a game company wants is to be able to basically take something that's profitable and loved by the fans and then turn it into a yearly franchise and pump it out like FIFA or Madden. That's all they're interested in.
Well, let's go basically into a little history of Kojima at the moment. That's courtesy of Cineline, who basically said Kojima's quite easily the superstar of video games. He implemented his own personality in games, he's revived somewhat dead franchises, and other developers take inspiration from him. He also brought to life one of the most successful game franchises that ever existed in Metal Gear. Yet, all in almost never happened because video games were his last-ditch effort to be creative. Kojima went to college in economics, spent most of his time fending off people that didn't believe in the same dreams as him. He wanted to be creative, rather his thoughts on music, literature and movies. His parents pushed it aside as a social norm was to get an education and a good job and be wealthy. The idea of working in video games was laughable. Even as an economics major, Kojima felt the idea was initially stupid, but the industry was not large at all. It all came crashing down the moment it almost died during the crash of 1983. Yet Kojima, having no success anywhere else, he'd written short stories and novels and gained absolutely no traction, oftentimes being rejected by publishers. Even magazines rejected his stories for being too long. He was part of a band, but it was mostly a hobby, and none of his mates had similar ambitions as him to make it into a career. There was, of course, his inspiration to be a movie maker. The one thing that most Kojima fans know that he wanted to be a film director long before getting into video games. I can hear a noise from somewhere. I'm just trying to figure out where that's from.
Me, I think.
Mute yourself for a sec, Dave. No, that's not you, Dave. Mr. Sean Michelin, I think it's your side.
About Kojima? Well, you know, you see
I
a
think
lot
I can
when
hear.
you try
I can hear something from your side. Mute yourself for a second.
Yeah. We can hear Canada.
Hold on.
Mute yourself for a sec.
Oh, no.
Unmute yourself.
Blame Canada. This is your bonus. We wasted a brilliant chance to sing the SoundCloud song. Blame Canada.
That's fixed it. The one thing that most Kojima fans will know, and he wanted to be a film director long before getting into video games. His lack of resources and time, rather low acceptance in the industry, made it nearly impossible for him to set his foot in the door. When he ended up at Konami, while a great achievement, he wasn't too thrilled for the longest time. He was much like the next best thing scenario. His family often enhanced that feeling by downplaying him as wasted talent at Konami. When he first started at Konami in the late 1980s, he was shoved into small projects he didn't care for. His first title was sequels to games such as MSX Division and Konami that solely focused on that console. Kojima hated it for lack of technology, but his inability to properly code and create games meant he had no power. Plus, any mistakes were easily blamed on him, yet he took this in his stride and constantly offering ideas to improve games, coming up with new creative adventures. It would be long before Konami gave him the opportunity to create Metal Gear. He was actually to take over a project already in development. He didn't like it where it was heading, so he changed the core mechanic that led into the franchise is known for today. Hardware limitations were a nagging complaint for Kojima. He utilized new sneaking mentality to work around them. Game's story changed about Solid Snake sneaking around the facility and learning nuclear weapons, taking inspirations from film personality stories and other inspirations. Nuclear weapons and ideas stems from Kojima's own parents.
Well, this is a true story, Bohan. On the original Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation, what people don't realise, even though it is in real time, is he achieves that real time effect, but every time you go into first person or whatever, and you swap between it actually goes into a separate game engine. It's two game engines run simultaneously. That's unheard of.
Yeah, most people don't know that the game didn't really sell well when it first was released in the MSX and on the Nintendo. Kojima went to create new adventures titled Snatcher as well. He got a full contract to really express his true talents. The game revolves around a post-apocalyptic world where a detective went to hunt down cyborgs. Konami simply had no faith at all in him and ventured off to his own to make Metal Gear follow-up titled Snake's Revenge. Eventually Kojima would meet with the person in the team to request to make a proper follow-up, the lead Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. The game featured enhancements ultimately left to exclusives on the MSX2 with no ports outside of Japan. It wasn't until he made Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation that basically his star started to shine. As you can tell, you know, with a guy who practically didn't even know how to code properly, he managed to make a huge living for himself in the games industry. Kojima is basically seen as one of the shining lights, you know.
He raised the bar. He introduced proper, fully realised and fledged, credible Hollywood storylines, but in video games. None of this hokey fucking, hey, Gio, there's a ghost behind that door. It was all fully realised, fully acted, you know, it set the bar.
He says, at age of 40, I'm trying to screen of the business aspects of games and concentrate on developing great games. I shouldn't say this in front of management at Konami, but in the future I don't want to pay attention to money, demographic or data. I want to become freelance and create games I've always dreamed of. Creative works need strong finances out of the business. The games industries are slowly burning me out, and that was an Edge.
You don't think he's a Clarkson in their ass, if you know what I mean? No pun intended.
Well, perhaps, you know, eventually he's going to be moving on to bigger things anyway. He's not going to basically let this hold him back, and I think that's the big thing here. So, you know what, let's go around the round robin with the panel here. Sean, what do you think of this situation? Do you think Kojima's going to be fine on his own, or do you think Metal Gear and also the Silent Hill franchise are just going to be led up dead in water in terms of gaming?
Well, I don't. With the Metal Gear Solid series, you're going to see it, I guess, go towards other visions. I mean, look at George Lucas pretty much selling off everything Lucasfilm to Disney. Now, Disney turned around and they looked at it and they assessed it and was like, okay, we're going to actually put out a movie. If buzz generates enough for that movie, we're going to put out a bunch of movies. And, so they could have a plan with Metal Gear on their end. On Kojima's end now, his star, like you said, started really shining towards the late 90s there with Metal Gear Solid. And the thing is, Keiji Inafune had the same kind of raw deal with Capcom there. Now he's, Mighty No. 9, Kickstarter, doing things like Carte Blanche. This guy could make some amazing stuff on his own, so he could end up like going over to Nintendo and like, hey, I got this Fox engine and everything. You guys want to do something together? And Nintendo's always been very open to stuff like that with, Bayonetta and Sega being good evidence there. So it's going to be interesting to see which way this is going to go.
Agreed. So going on from that, guys, I think this has been a great sort of news orientated show today, and we're going on to our 2-hour mark now. So what I want to do is I want to basically leave it to the panel to give us one. You've got your chance to kind of vent on one thing that's been bugging you this week in gaming. So Xander, you go first.
I'll say I think I went over all that with the news segment. I mean, that's pretty much just what's been pissing me off lately. It's just the HD remakes. Just people really need to kind of do some research on themselves. Don't put so much faith into the gaming developers. Don't put so much faith into the companies. I think a lot of problem is a lot of people look at these game companies and they surround it with their hobby, and they're like, you know what? These companies really care about me. They really understand me because I love playing video games. But that's not what it is. It's about money. And you know what? They're all about making money. They want to save their asses. So they're not going to say certain things that will make a backlash, like with the Arkham games. I mean, they're not going to say, hey, we're postponing Arkham Knight for a third time because we want to remake these games and put them out for you. They're not going to do that because that would be financial suicide. I mean, that would be something crazy. So I just tell people, when it comes to like Nintendo with the Zelda stuff, when it comes to, HD remakes, kind of use a little bit of common sense, because like I said, a lot of the stuff that I think about, I feel like I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist sometimes, but a lot of it I'm just kind of using common sense and reading between the lines. Definitely.
I agree with you. I think that a lot of people who I love gamers. I it's one of the things that I love about this industry. But I think with fans of any genre, people just tend to kind of focus on, oh, they've got a new game out, or they've got new this out or new that out. It's going to be amazeballs, and you're like, really?
Brand loyalty, dumbass brand loyalty.
Yeah.
Sheeples.
It's ridiculous. So Sarah, what about you?
I think the most thing that was bugging me lately was the amiibos. Just the fact that we try to want to get some, but, one, we can't really afford them, and two, we can't fucking find any that's not like Kirby or Samus or like really common wave ones, because Scott wanted a Mega Man one. I think he pre-ordered it like 3 million years ago, and he ended up getting one from Amazon. Now we want a NES one, but I'm just like, honey, good luck finding that, because you're not going to be able to. And then it's like all the scalpers and like the Golden Mario. It's just like, why would you need a Golden Mario? Like, it's not... Does it even do anything aside from the normal Mario? It's just like a...
The thing is, you could use the ones that you've got for Smash Brothers on Mario Party, and it would do the same fucking thing. It's the same technology in there. It's basically collectibles. So, but yeah. Now,
it's the 1990s Rob Liefeld foil gate covers all over again.
Exactly. Sean Michelin, here's your chance. What's bugging you?
I gotta say the Amiibos thing as well. I mean, I can't get away from them. Like even seeing crap about them. I belong to a few different groups on Facebook. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was Full Metal Gamers, and somebody showed a picture of somebody who literally had an entire store stock of gold Mario's bought. It was just like dozens of them, and I was just like, wow, this shit's getting out of hand. Like a friend of mine told me she wants to get a 3DS or a Wii U just so she could start collecting Amiibos. So I was like, holy shit. Yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, some people that I know haven't started collecting Amiibos yet, and they're like, man, I'm thinking about starting to collect Amiibos, and I'm like, don't.
Run away.
Just don't.
Yeah, Johnny even said the same thing. He was like, if people asking me if they should collect Amiibos, I told them no. You know, it's just as bad as game collecting.
I say, just get Little Mac and send it to Dave. But no,
well,
no,
I know someone who has Little Mac who's supposed to send me one. I've got to ask him where it is. But yeah, now let's go on to Mr. Dave Wade. Dave, your time to vent.
Fucking Nintendo. Oh, I should narrow that down a little bit more because this whole show's been about N1ntendon't. This whole swan song of, you know, Zelda, and it seems like they've done with all their previous systems. There's a whiff of Sega about it, which is, alright, job's good and we're done with this. Look forward. Well, that's all well and good when you announce these new things because you're not happy with where you are right now, but you immediately announce the death nail in that system and kill any interest in it or any chance of it fucking selling or people coming to board to make fucking games for it. So I personally think, you know, and thank you, Sabretooth, for making me realise something I didn't realise, which is this delay of Zelda is basically, big term here, Dave, pretty much announced the death knell of the console to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. I think Nintendo really need to watch what they're doing with the Wii U.
I love Zelda, it made me realise something I've been burying my head in the sand with. Now I have to cry in the corner.
I've got like 2 Wii U's at home, and I'm probably going to end up buying one when I move to Canada as well. That's terrible.
Yeah, those things are region locked.
Yeah.
I think you'll find in Canada it's called the Wii A. Sorry.
But I'm sure. Now, Nick Horacek, go for it.
What's pissing me off the Amiibo thing too, because look, I don't care. I'll get probably the few I want to get, like Little Mac, if I can find them. But it's gonna be, if I can't, it's gonna be no skin off my ass. But these fucking resellers, because buy multiple up now and then sell them, make money. It's like, it just drives me nuts. I hate resellers, and it just screws over actual gamers who want to collect the damn things.
Yeah, I concur.
Totally. And what's
Does anyone else feel bad now when you're standing outside a sports event, like a football game or a baseball game or a hockey game, and you see the scalpers, and I guess it's our fault for saying, when they go, do you want a ticket? Why don't you get a real fucking job? We did this to them. They became resellers in video games. It's on us.
I agree. And secondly, the thing that bugs me the most, and I'm going to say this because I partake in a lot of gaming forums. Gamers in gaming forums bug me. I don't mind, like, I've been a part of some gaming forums where people just troll, and I love those forums because they post some amazing memes. Go and check out Gamers Retreat on Facebook. They are hilarious. But when I go to, like, being on the Happy Console Gamer forum, I'm one of the admins there with Xander, and one of the biggest issues when I have people bitch and get butthurt about stuff and don't talk to people, and it's just like, well, I think this console's better than... I've heard the Wii U versus Xbox versus PlayStation debate. I've heard this since the fucking consoles came out. Stop it. Who gives a fuck?
What? There's a playground analogy outside of the Playground Wars, which that stupid little phrase you said when you were a kid that is perfectly objectable to the argument against consoles, and that phrase is this: I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, but it's one of those things, like, who gives a fuck, right? We're here to enjoy gaming and enjoy everything about gaming. We're not here to sit down and moan, oh, you don't like what I like? Well, go fuck yourself. No, that's not the way.
Realised. That's funny, I did a video once and it got so much flack, but I stand by it. And I did a video once called "Taste is Subjective." Just accept it.
It is. No, but taste is subjective. Opinions are subjective. It's like each and every person on this podcast. I can guarantee you, we all have different opinions. I think the new Godzilla movie was shite. Xander thinks it's the best thing on sliced bread. Me and Xander aren't sitting there slagging each other off trying to kill each other. And Xander's not...
Yeah.
Me and Xander had a FaceTime call today and just sitting there chatting
I
about
was just
random
upset
shit.
that the bloke from Malcolm in the Middle got killed at the start.
Yeah,
Just
spoilers, by the way, for those who
spoilers.
who lived under a fucking rock. Like me and Sarah have different opinions on illustrations or designs, and she'll basically sit there and she's a grammar Nazi, and I fucking can't spell to shit. You know, we don't sit there and hate each other for that. Me and Sean have, well, we don't really disagree on anything, do we, Sean?
Well, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
That's true, right? Yes.
That's
I'm natural born Canadian here.
Yeah, we kind of...
By the way, I'm drinking Molson Canadian. And I gotta tell Mr. Wade something. In the 15 packs, you can buy 15-pack bottles here now. I'm having a Molson Canadian. There's a little packet inside. You open it up, and there's a little jewelry box inside. You open it up, and it's a replica Stanley Cup ring. And they're different years. But the thing is, I've actually worn an actual Stanley Cup ring, so it's like, it's not the same.
Well, there we go. Myself and Dave have different political opinions. You know, Dave is very kind of middle ground. I'm more left. Dave doesn't sit there and call me a lefty cunt. He has called me a sexy socialist bastard, which I don't know how to take that. But we sit there and we have different opinions, but we do meet in the middle sometimes. Me and Nick, we have different opinions in terms of wrestling. We don't sit there and shit all over each other.
Yeah, Nick's right. You're wrong.
Yeah, in the end, people can have different opinions and still coexist. It's not...
People don't need to take stuff so personally.
Yeah, and it happens a lot in religion, in politics, in TV, film. If I don't... I remember I did a video saying that I hated... like World War Z, people started swearing at me like I fucking disgraced their religion and took Jesus and put him on the cross.
Now, come on, Mr. Burton.
I
You
will...
did teach me one interesting tip about the zombie apocalypse that I never thought about. All those magazines on your coffee table that are going to waste, tape them to your forearms. You never know when you might need them.
Go on, Xander.
I will say this. If you're the kind of person that, you know, it bothers you that much that someone might think of something like video games, you know, if their opinions bother you that much that you actually hate the person or you actually don't want to, you don't want to communicate with the person, you honestly need to, just sit back, look at the mirror, and really think about your life. Because, I mean,
really think. You know, one of those things where when you have, a montage going on, so you're sitting there staring at the mirror, and it's going back to the recesses of your mind. It's like that thing on Family Guy when Peter just takes a long walk on the pier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things.
One sec, Dave. Go on, Xander.
Oh, what I was going to say was, you know, when it all comes down to it, it's video games. I mean, we're not talking about very, you know, important things like life or death situations. We're talking about, you know, a hobby we enjoy. So, I mean, if you're seriously one of those kind of people that you're like, I'm going to block this person on Facebook, or I'm going to talk shit about this person behind their back because they don't like this video game or they're a fanboy or something like that. Get a fucking grip, dude. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's video games.
Some people have that weird mentality, though, which is, and not just video games, but everything, which is, no, you must accept my point and agree with me. I won't let this go.
Those type of people, I really felt that they should have been aborted a long time ago. And I still
they dodged a code.
Yeah, and I still recommend that their parents just get a shotgun and abort them now because it's legal. But
it is in Nottingham if you do it on a Sunday, not wearing shoes with a crossbow. True, look it up.
But let's go on for the next bit now, Mr. Xander Scullin.
I was just going to quickly say, going back to what we're talking about now, which is people watch two videos I did a very, very long time ago that covered this. One of them is called Why Do People Hate on Gamers? Yeah. And the other one is, Why Do I Have to Grow Up? And they cover all of this, which is Why Do I Have to Grow Up was one where I got challenged by someone at work who said, how old are you? And I was just like, hey, I pay my bills. You know, I insure my car, I've got a roof over my head, I can eat, I cover all the fucking basic responsibilities of my life. Why the fuck can I play video games or have to grow up?
Yeah. I'll definitely give that a look.
So, and also, if you want to check out Xander's most hated videos on his channel, his Angry Video Game Nerd movie review, which he got a ton of hate for. I mean, a ton of hate. And also, his whole thing on Metal Gear Ground Zeroes. Oh my fucking god, the amount of hate and spew and people having a go at him and downvoting his video because they felt that he like fucked with them and like pissed all over their game. It's ridiculous.
I did a video on that and got a massive amount of hatred, which is it was games you feel really truly ripped off for. Alright, granted I bought it without knowing it was just a tech demo, but I did a big rant on it and I got loads of fucking hate from this one guy who came after me and just saying, well, maybe I like short games. Maybe I like short games. And I said, well, maybe you like buying a car that only lasts for a year. That's not the same argument, Dave. That's not the same. No, it is the same argument. You're not getting value for money. Fuck off, you little twat.
Yeah, it's basically check those out there as well. Two of my most hated videos. One kind of had one indifferent, which was the one on Sarkeesian and feminism, and then the other video that I did, which was basically a video, a couple of my movie file videos talking about World War Z and Godzilla. The amount of fucking hate I got for those. I got unfriended for the Godzilla one. I'm kind of proud for that. When I was like, yeah, I kind of don't like the Godzilla movie. It was like unfriended. But moving on from that, Xander, where can we find you?
Well, you guys can find me in the bathroom if I eat lots of tacos. But no. But no,
okay,
you guys can actually find me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/XanderScullion, and also my podcast, Excess Gaming Podcast on podomac.com. And I'm also part of the Retro Limb Network, so you can look at some of my endeavors on there as well. And Nerd Genius.
Yeah, you can also find out once the new site actually launches, the Excess Gaming Podcast is actually going to be moving over to the Retro Island site, so he'll have the iTunes catalog on there as well, and I'm just going to see if I can trace back and get most of the archive episodes, so you'll be able to hopefully get it up to probably episode 5, maybe even episode 1, depending on what happens. Now going on from that, Sarah, where can we find you?
Mostly you can find me on Facebook. I have my art page that I try to update every day or so. That's Sarah.
Oh, I'm following you, Sarah. Can you send me a link so I can make sure I am?
Yeah, sure. I'll send it to you afterwards. You can just find me at Sarah Mortimer Illustration, so SARA without the H, and then MORTIMER, and then just illustration. So I try to update that page every day or every few days. I've got the recent stuff on there. So basically where I am.
Yeah, and also please don't send Xander dick pics again. He gets tired of them, people. You know. So going on, Sean, where can we find you?
On YouTube here, of course. Dietless79, DAIATLUS79. When you want to search my channel, it's the same thing for my Instagram and my Twitter. On Facebook, I'm just Sean J. Michelin. I just post. I usually accept friends' requests, and unless it's like somebody I don't even know. I remember there's a wave of those hot girl requests that everybody get. Yet, she's always from Shenzhen province or something like that. I usually post on there a bit videos. I keep saying I'm going to get some more cranked out there. It's just been so bloody busy with management now, my job. So crappy. But yeah, you can find me there.
Mr. Dick Horacek, where can we find you?
Alright, you can find me over on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187. You can find me on Twitter at Gaming Pegasus 187. I'll be tweeting during WrestleMania tomorrow. Let's see how...
Not on your own page. This is our deal from last night. Not on your own page.
Yeah, we're going to be doing facebook.com/groups/Wrestle Revolution. Join that group, and we're going to be doing a huge Facebook chat on there with every single one of our Wrestling Revolution members. 79 members and counting. We're nearly up to 80 members on that forum, which is really, really good. And we share our pros and cons about wrestling. It's been getting a heck of a lot of activity as well in the last couple of days due to WrestleMania. So check that out, guys, if you love wrestling. And also check him out on our 2K15 video that we did.
Yes.
Myself and Nick Horacek and Brandon Ligon, as we break down WWE2K15. It's actually one of those games where Matt from 2K15 actually asked me about what my opinion was of the game and how he liked the video that we did and wanted to know what we would implement to kind of fix the game and make it a lot more approachable. I gave
also check out their video if you'd like to see Mr. Ligon lick box.
Yes. and Mr. Nick Horacek with 2 titles looking sexy.
Oh my god, yeah, I was like 18 in that. I took a random picture. That was, because I got a buddy who does MMA. It was a couple of amateur championships. Just thought it'd be a good idea to do a picture like that. And thank you, Burhan, for digging me up. You had to dig pretty far into my Facebook for that one.
Yeah, I wanted to find one of you looking really stupid, and it was that one. I was like, yeah, I'm going to post that one. It's going to be on the video. That's what happens when you people
I
give
still
me
think
free
my
rein.
favourite one is your passed out one on the couch, Mr.
Oh my... Well, my friends are assholes. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm over on Xbox Live, Instagram, Pegasus187, Wii U, same thing. Go.
Now, going on from that, Mr. Lawnboys post 1975, Dave Wade, where can we find you?
I mean, quietly softly into my lapel, standing over your bed the day that the Reaper comes to get you.
Yes. And that's youtube.com
Sorry.
/Lawnboys
really
post 1975. Yes, Mr. Dave Wade.
Retro games people, basically.
Yes, and for myself, you can find me on youtube.com /TheNerdGenius. 321 members and counting, 321 subscribers. Going over the 300 mark really makes my day, guys. Thank you. I've been having a really, really bad week as it is. You guys have made me really happy. The fact that you're, commenting on my channel. You love the vlog video that I did, the response I did to Xander Scullion. I've got more of those coming. I'm going to be doing.
I've got one coming up for that as well. I haven't forgotten it, Mr. Burhan.
I'm going to be doing a vlog this week on basically my dad and his influence on my life, because I basically the anniversary of his death came and went this month, and I thought maybe I should talk about him, because I talked about him with a friend of mine and just realised how he's been an important factor, and how the fact that this big, aggressive, annoying human being who was very condescending that I didn't agree with was actually one of the biggest nerds I had ever met, because many of my traits actually stem from him. So I thought I'll talk about that in the video, plus a new Robert Brits review coming this Sunday, and loads more stuff coming from me, so make sure you check that out. RetroIsland.com, of course, youtube.com /TheNerdGenius. NerdGenius has also a Dailymotion page, dailymotion.com /NerdGenius, and you can find me on nerdgenius.com as well. If you want to check out this show and all the other archives, itunes.com /podcast /IGotGameplay. So check us out there. Now, thanks very much, ladies and gents. And this now is Michael Burhan for Sarah Mortimer, Sean Michelin, Dave Wade, Nick Horacek, Mr. Xander Scullion, saying that we've got gameplay. Have you?